underestimated city, delicious fika, mind-blowing metro, a great diversity of museums, stunning and fashionable people, affordable ferry trips, not tourists, lagoon, beautiful architecture, vintage appreciation, devil is in the details. Hello everybody, this is Stacy and today we're going to talk about Stockholm, Sweden. I have had my wonderful trip there. You might want to check it out, our vlog from there. It's gonna be somewhere attached. Small story first. When we bought our tickets, we understood that it is better to have some research before actually going to the country, to have all the activities planned and to know that we know a specific thing that we might do on this day or on that day. In that case, social media is the key. I went to search for some reels and TikToks in order to understand maybe what places should we visit, what places are really good, budget friendly, according to the fact that, for instance, we want to try some national cuisine, but we don't want to spend that much money as we are students. As a result, I understood that there is not so much information, and a lot of people on social media were saying that this city is underestimated. So it was another point, why should I create my own list and share it with you guys? So let's get back to it. I want to have in this video a specific structure, so from the very arrival to the departure. So if you're interested in a particular part, you can go on text and start watching there. As you arrive in Sweden, most probably you're going to end up at the Arlanda airport and you need to get to Stockholm. For that reason, there are a lot of transfers, but I have to say that if you're under the age of 19, you are going to take the transfer, for instance, from CJ, which is considered to be the cheapest. It is going to cost you only 5 euros to get from the airport to the center of Stockholm. If you're older than that, it's probably going to be a little bit more expensive. Let's imagine that you have had your plane arrive early in the morning, and it means that you cannot check in your hotel so far. It means that it is a wonderful time to enjoy fika. Fika is the concept of drinking coffee with a really tasty cinnamon roll, cinnamon bun. As you walk in the city, you will definitely bump into a wide variety of places where you can try those fikas. I personally enjoyed the ones that are with cinnamon and pepper. This is something unusual and it is tasty, so don't forget to try as many as you can. I have to say that we had one place marked on our maps in order to go there and check fikas, but unfortunately every single time we went there it was closed, but we were still passionate and found really nice places, so don't you worry about a specific place, just go around, look at the prices, look at the quality of the products. Sometimes it is visible that something is not so fresh or it just does not feel right, and sometimes you have this feeling like, oh, I want to buy everything here, take my money. After that, you can still have time and just walk around the city and enjoy the architecture. I am a big fan of the things that are visually inspiring. That's why when I was in Paris, it was a mesmerizing experience because I was literally attached to almost every single building. Here it is different. The architecture style is completely different, but at the same time there is something about it. Unfortunately, when I started to film those on videos, I understood that I cannot capture that beauty and uniqueness. But if you go there, my lord, there is something that is going to stay in your heart forever. I can't but mention that paying attention to the details is super crucial in Stockholm. Just imagine that when you look at the traffic light, wow, you can see something different. For instance, in the country where I live right now, all of the traffic lights are simple and ordinary. However, in Stockholm, there are different options that you may run into. And after having that trip, I felt so emotionally and visually resourceful that I had some inspiration to create more art. My lord, I will attach my home screen after having that trip that I had for several weeks, I think, and for me that's a lot. That's a long period of time. Devil is indeed in the details. Museums. There is a great diversity of museums. I even went on the website and I decided to scroll on how many I can visit, and I understood that it is an endless number. Here I have to say that Sweden is not really a cheap country. That's why we didn't have that much of a budget to go to every single museum. But we marked some of those that are worth visiting and that can be free. So let me tell you about 3 museums today. The first one is Moderna Museum, which is the Museum of Modern Art. Usually it has an entrance fee, but if you're going there on Friday after 6 p.m, it is going to be free for everybody. And I really loved that place because in general I pay attention to modern art. I mean, at least I try to. It is difficult to understand sometimes, and that's okay. That's the concept, I guess. And there we found some works by famous artists like Pablo Picasso, Andrew Warhol, and so on and so forth. So in general it was really pleasing, let's say. Another museum that I truly want to mention is the National Museum, and it is free for the people under the age of 20. That's why it was a really nice surprise to go there. It has several floors and it was such a mind-blowing experience because there were so many details. I love the idea of art, but I pay more attention to something that is 3D. My heart belongs to architecture, sculptures, and I think that when I see something related to pottery, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend several hours looking at that masterpiece. Yeah, and the last museum is Stockholm City Museum, which was also free. As far as I understood, it is also free for everybody. And this is a little bit different from the ones that I was talking about before. But basically, this is something where you would like to go when you want to immerse yourself into the culture and into the history of the place you are visiting. So you might also want to check it out. Oh, the least recommendation is that I am a bubble tea lover. I drink it a lot. I cannot do anything about it. Just drink it. I can't but mention that we found a place called Chai Time, if I remember correctly. There it was a little bit different from the ones that I try here in Lithuania, but at the same time it was delicious. So don't forget to go there as well if you also like bubble tea. Stockholm is a spacious city, and that's why if you need to get to the other part of the city, you might use metro. You can buy a ticket that is going to last for several hours. As far as I remember, we bought the one that was for 1 hour and a half, and it cost like 2.5 euros because we are students, so it was a little bit less. What you are going to see is incredible and extraordinary because the concept of this underground, the concept of this metro is that it is a piece of art. There are several stations that are highly worth visiting because of the fact that it is a specific concept, an idea, turned into a metro station. My personal favorite was the one which was called Stadium, maybe. I'm not sure about that, but I do remember that it is like a rainbow. And my friend and I took those hours, 1 hour and a half, to be precise, to explore those stations, and we had enough time. So we were not in a rush, but at the same time we understood that we still have to see this, this and this. I'm also thinking about creating a short video about my favorite stations, so follow to see more. I am a big thrifter, and that's why when I go anywhere I try to go to the thrifting vintage stores to find something that I'm going to take with me. In Vilnius we have such vintage stores, second-hand stores called Humana, and there were also Humanas. But pay attention here, the level was different because of the fact that when I entered the store I didn't have a feeling that I am somewhat at a second-hand store. It felt like it is a vintage appreciation, a piece of art combined with beautiful and super nice clothes. We almost ended up buying a pair of jeans for my friend there, but the size was not so true and everything else. And we were also backpacking, that's why it is a little bit difficult, but it's still something. Another chain of second-hand stores is called, and there we found also really nice things, but apart from that, we bought several postcards, which is a nice thing to do, for instance, when you're traveling and you want to send this to your friends later. I think that's the best. And those postcards were like 6 crowns, which is a little bit less than 60 cents. There is one Swedish word, lagom, which means not too much, not too little, and this is exactly what feels in the city. People are satisfied with what they have. There are no big logos. I have never seen that during a 5-day trip, and I was really pleased with the idea of seeing everybody happy, and really interesting feeling that I got that from the very first day I didn't feel like a tourist. It felt like I belonged there. That's it. Like literally, I was like, oh, okay, I'm going for a walk, then I'm going to immerse myself into the concept of fika, and maybe I will go to the museum. Oh, I should definitely go to Humana to buy those shoes. I was terrified for a moment. Even though on the 5th day it was snowing, even though it was April. Another part I want to pay your attention to is people who looked fashionable and at the same time they looked so nice, so pleased with everything. Not everybody is smiling, but at the same time there is this feeling that everybody is calm, chilly. And as far as I know, Swedish people are not going into overwork. It's not in their culture. It's actually like, what is going on? And as we were going to the hotel once kind of late, we saw people chatting at the bars. We also went to the bar once, but it's a completely different story that I'm not have the strengths and powers to tell you, but maybe not right now at least. And there is this nightlife as well, so favorite trips. It was super affordable and we paid only €3 to go around and see other districts and other beautiful scenery. So you can catch the ferry from the city center and you are going to have a trip, and it is kind of long, so if you want to come back you have to take off at the specific station that you choose, and you can wait for a little bit and catch another ferry to come back. All in all, I want to say that I was super pleased with this trip. It was nice, interesting. I will use this adjective one more time. Mind-blowing at some parts. I can't wait to go to Stockholm one more time. Unfortunately, not this summer, but maybe next summer, because I wanted to see this city in the state where it is blossoming, the sun is out, and everybody is also out, because I can understand that if you live in a place where the sun is not usually shining, then it does. All of the nice people are going to be outside. I wish you a wonderful trip to Stockholm. If you have any more questions referring this trip and I might know the information to that, you might comment down below and I will reply. Don't forget that I also have my Instagram that I try to post kinda regularly. And I post about my trips, in general my life, try to make it interesting and funny, that's why you could also check it out. And thank you so much for your attention. I love you. Goodbye.